Right, so I just had two Audi TTs come in, and the main difference between these two cars is that one there is a manual coupe, and this one is obviously a convertible, but that's got an S-Tronic gearbox. And if you watch this video until the end, we're going to do Dragy times. We're going to find out which one of these two cars is the quickest to 60. Right, so I'll start off by apologising because you can see, like, especially that one, it needs a bloody clean. They've literally just come in. I thought, you know, just more than anything, I just want to get them on the channel. We've got our guy Jam over there. He's hiding. Yes, Jam. He's the guy who cleans the cars. So yeah, as soon as I'm done filming with them, we'll get him and get him clean. But ignore that, yeah. So this one, like I said, is a convertible car. They're both 200 bhp front wheel drive cars, so they're both quite comparable from that point of view. But like I said, this is a convertible, and the obvious difference with the convertible, obviously the roof goes down. It is a soft top, so from a weight point of view, that's pretty good. But from a weight point of view, it's not good because there's a lot of stuff that comes with a convertible roof, making this car quite a bit heavier than that car. One of the biggest sacrifices with having a convertible Audi TT is you don't get no back seat. So this one you can see is a two-seater car, and if you come over to this one, I suppose they're not really amazingly massive back seats, but there are some back seats hidden in behind the two front seats. All right, so that's your sort of sacrifice. But on a day like today, where the it is actually shining, it's just a bit cloudy, it's nice to have a convertible, isn't it? So yeah, I thought, what more than anything, what I want to do, because I actually had a VW Scirocco in at the weekend, and the guy that bought the Scirocco part exchanged his TT in for the Scirocco, and everyone was like, Calvin, please get a video on the Scirocco. I come here today to film the Scirocco, and we've got two TTs. So not quite a Scirocco, but it's very similar. What I would like to do normally is have a little wander around and talk to you about my sort of feeling on how a car looks. Now, I do love the look of TTs. The Mark 1 was like well ahead of its time when it came out back in, what was that, 98 or something like that. These ones come out in 2006, and I think they made these for about 8 years, was that right? Up until about 2014. They've done them for a long time, and they're a seriously modern looking thing. They look the part, and you'll find out in a minute they're a great thing to drive as well. Interior wise, like, start off with this one, they've both got the same seats. This one has done just over 100,000 miles. You can see the seats are a little bit worn, bit of wear on the bolster there. It's half leather, half Alcantara. Alcantara on the bottom there. I mean, we will try and validate that out, but you can see it's a lot more worn than if we're going to have a look at this one. This one's done half the mileage, about 50,000 miles, and it's a lot better nick. But you can see again on the arse of the seat there, it is starting to show a sign of wear, because I suppose Alcantara is that kind of material, isn't it? But yeah, this one, S-Tronic gearbox. They're both 6-speed gearboxes. The only difference is this one is controlled by 2 pedals, and that one, of course, has got 3 pedals. Yeah. What else was I going to say? Spec wise, this is a lower spec car. You can see this has no sat nav and no multi-functions on the steering wheel. This one has got a Calvin's car diary air freshener. You can see that, look, hashtag on it. Available at calvinscardiary.com, by the way. And sat nav, multifunctional steering wheel. So it's quite a nice place to be inside this one. But arguably, the manual coupe's probably more of a driver's car than an automatic convertible. That's debatable. That is debatable, because the S-Tronics are so bloody good. But what I'm going to do is, the main drive of this video is going to be in the manual car. Okay, I'm going to get that started, take it out for a drive, and then we'll do the Dragy times right at the end of the video. All right, so let's get out in this one. Audi TT. Now, I mentioned earlier about the earlier one, like, they are a nice car, yeah. The Mark 1 TT, that was a seriously nice car. It was well ahead of its time for the year, the time it came out. Anyway, not in, like I said, 98, there or thereabouts. And there weren't really anything like it in the whole sort of the whole bloody car market. It wasn't really a car that was a small coupe or coupe, or however you want to say it. Built by the Germans. Was there anything like it? The VW done the old Corrado. They done the VR6 and a few different models of that. But then that stopped, didn't it? It wasn't really anything that fitted in the market like a TT did. And it was a nice looking car, and they clearly done really well with it. And then they released a Mark II later on down the line. Now, the reason why I do these videos is because I've been mixing it up a little bit lately, trying different stuff, you know, doing a lot of Dragy time stuff, and a lot of people go on my website and say, Calvin, can you do a video on this car, that car, and blah, blah, blah. And it's a good opportunity for you lot to get a feel for every type of car going. I've got all these cars in stock. It's just a perfect opportunity to get out in them. So this car, obviously it's a manual car, and I think the thing that I would want to know if I was watching me through that camera now is, I'd want to know, like, how does it feel from a driving point of view? How does it deliver power? How nimble does it feel? Does it feel like quite a heavy car? Is it nimble? Is it light? What's it like in general to drive? Because ultimately that's what we're all about, innit? We want to jump in the car and have fun, yeah? So this is a 200 bhp car, stock power, it's not been tuned or nothing like that. They do the TTS, which are a lot more money, probably don't offer the same value for money, but they are a better car. I think the TTS is 270 bhp, same setup as an Audi S3. It's a bit more power, and I would say probably they come out of the factory as slightly better spec. Currently stuck behind a lorry, so I can't really talk too much about how this car performs. He's driving ridiculously slow. Oh, he's decided to mount it on a curb. That's good for me though. So power wise, they're quick, yeah, they do deliver power really well. They've got a nice sound to them, again, because this is stock, it's not going to make any abnormal noises, but it's got like a nice sort of turbo blowing sound, which you like. And when you put your foot down, we're on a country lane now, second gear surprisingly quick. So you ain't gonna get in the driver's seat of one of these cars and be disappointed. Drop it down. They do just bloody tear. A bit of a skip in third gear there. Weight wise, see the weight stats vary so much online because there are so many different variants of this car. Obviously the convertible is going to weigh more. Quattros are going to weigh even more because they've got like all the drive gear for the four-wheel drive. And then they do a V6 version, which is gonna weigh more again because it's got an extra 2 cylinders under the bonnet. So they vary from somewhere between 1,300 and 1,500 kilos. I would say this is gonna be the lighter variant because it is a 4-cylinder car, it's two-wheel drive, and it's a coupe, yeah? So it's not gonna be too heavy from the roof point of view, yeah? So in the region of 1,300 kilos, and I'm gonna assume that the convertible is in the region of 1,400 kilos, so about 100 kilos more. That's a real shot in the dark guess. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a feel for this car and jump straight out in the S-Tronic one and just see how they compare immediately next to each other, like driving one after the other one, yeah? One thing I would say is like legroom for me would be something that I would question if I was about to buy an Audi TT, and if I was going to buy a convertible or a coupe, I keep saying coupe, whatever, a 4-seater version, how does the legroom differ? That's an important thing, yeah? And I got in the driver's seat of the convertible one and noticed that although the seat does go back the same, it travels the same amount of distance, the convertible, because you've got the bit behind you, I'm going to turn around here, you've got the bit behind you that's where the roof and all the gubbins for the roof is stored. You're kind of restricted there, so you can put the seat further back, like the backrest further back in this version, all right? So if you're a bit of a tall guy, I'm 6'3"-ish, yeah, you want to consider that as quite an important factor. So what I'll do is I'm stuck behind a Jag now, annoyingly. You know, slow drivers, they're not even He's going right anyway. I'm not going to tear into him. It's okay, it's fine. I'm going to save that rant for another day. But second gear again, traction control's flickering at me, so let's try and get that turned off straight away. Get around this bend first. I do love a front wheel drive manual car. I say it all the time because they're so really are drivable. You seem, I don't know, mentally you feel like you know where the power's going, you know what you're doing, and you can sort of, I don't know, it's quite nice to feel a bit of wheel spin every now and then. I do like that. So we're turning the traction control off. And this engine, that's better. You can feel the wheels sketching around a little bit. It does grip really well. Tiny bit of torque steer. We're on quite a bumpy road as well, so it's a bit leery on the front end, but yeah, nice drivable car. It does feel nimble, it does feel lightweight, it does feel very good quality as well. It is an Audi, although it is quite an old car now, let's face it, it's just over 10 years old. In the realms of things, it's not old, but as far as technology is concerned, things adapt and change and evolve so quickly. But this is a really nice car. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop banging on, I'm going to do the 0-60, go to my little private road, yeah, that we're allowed to speed on, and we're going to do a 0-60 test, right? So let's cut to that scene. Right, so we're now on that private road, and the app we're going to be using today to measure my time is Dragy, all right? I'm not sponsored by Dragy at all, but they should bloody sponsor me. If anyone works at Dragy, tell them that, you know, bring Calvin in. But Dragy, it's a great app, great way to record 0-60 times and whatever else you want to record speed-wise in your car. Traction control's off. There isn't much else we can do to enhance or improve the performance in this car. There's no sports mode or nothing like that. We're just going to get off the mark as quickly as we can, and I'm going to do a few runs and quote the quickest times in a sec, all right? Let's do it. 3, 2, let's get the handbrake up just to control that bite, that's it. 3, 2, 1. Nah, too much wheel spin, far too much wheel spin. 3, 2, 1. That's good. That's good as well. That's it. That felt quick. These engines do feel quick though. They're unbelievably good for a stock power. So let's have a look at the times. Well, it felt bloody quick. So the manual TT done 0-60 in 6.31 seconds. That's bloody good. And to find out how this car falls on the CCD leaderboards, give me a follow on Instagram at Calvin's Car Diary, and I'll post the leaderboard in my story, and I'll also post it as a highlight on my main Instagram, all right? So give me a follow on Instagram at Calvin's Car Diary, and you'll see the leaderboard of all the cars that we've done Dragy times on. So next step is let's get out in the other TT. I thought I've got to get the roof down from going out in this one, so there might be a bit of wind noise in here. Hopefully not, because I've got a pretty good mic on the go. But yeah, just don't know, it makes the whole experience a little bit more exciting, doesn't it? Convertibles are a bit of a funny thing. Some people say they're a bit like embarrassing. Some people don't like to drive them or be seen in them because, you know, you feel like you kind of feel like you're on a stage. Everyone can see you, don't you? Obviously me right now, I'm kind of on that stage, but you know, when you're driving a convertible, bit of a posy feeling, isn't it? But I must admit, I'm not a massive poser, but I do love a convertible, especially when the weather's like it is like today. It's just quite a nice feeling, wind in all three of my hairs, and just feels good having the sun on your head as well. So yeah, so first of all, obviously we've got no clutch pedal, which is nice from like a chilling point of view. Just relax your left foot, flick through the gears. Obviously it's got the S-Tronic gearbox, which gives you the little farts between gears, DSG farts as we like to call them, which is nice. But you do get a better feeling for the sound, like the exhaust note with the roof down in general, so gives you an idea. I would say straight away this car does feel heavier, and something else I didn't really account for is the weight of the gearbox. I would say that a dual clutch gearbox, I'm not entirely certain the weight differences, but I would say that this definitely weighs more than a manual gearbox. One thing I didn't mention about the manual gearbox as well is, from a driving point of view, it's a really nice thing to use, really soft and light and easy. You know, it ain't a horrible manual. So if you are planning to get a TT or an S3 or anything similar to that with a manual gearbox, don't be scared. They're a really nice thing to drive, all right? But yeah, this gearbox here, power-wise, power wise it feels the same. The gearbox is obviously a really nice thing to use, but the thing we want to know is how quick does this thing do to 60. So we're going to head back to the private roads, get ready to do another Nought 60 launch. Alright, let's go. Right, that's it, we ready. So this car does have a sports mode on the gearbox, so we'll click back for sports mode. ESP is off. We've got launch control as well, which is going to be the decider between these two cars, but I've got to say that this does feel noticeably heavier driving it. Alright, so who knows, let's see how it goes. Alright, 3, 2, 1. So that's a bit of an awkward one. Launch control is doing a great job of launching, yeah, but you've really got to just be, I don't even know if launch control is going to do us many favours because it's just spinning up. So we'll try that again, but being a bit more gentle with launch. 3, 2, 1. That's good. That's good. Oh. That weren't that great. Oh, got a mate trying to help me out. So what I'll do, as ever, I'm going to do a few runs and quote the quickest times in a sec. All right. Right. So we're back to where we started then, and I've got the Dragy times on my screen here for both cars. So you already know the manual car done 0 to 60 in 6.31 seconds. Yeah. And this one, yeah, the heavier car with the quicker gearbox, done 0 to 60, the quickest time quoted. I managed to get a bloody good launch off the mark as well. 0 to 60 in 6.52 seconds. So we're 0.2 of a second slower to 60 in this car. Now there's so many factors here. Obviously weight, yeah, it just summarizes the whole weight debate. Yeah, weight is so important. This is obviously going to have some kind of strengthening underneath to make up for the strength lost through the roof. They've got weight underneath, heavy gearbox, weight mechanism, like a heavy mechanism for the roof as well. There's a lot of additional weight here. So I said about 100 kilos. It feels like it's carrying a lot more than 100 kilos. So amazing comparison really. I suppose they're almost identically compared in life, but it's quite an interesting one. When I see them both come in, I thought, do you know what, let's get a comparison done on a pair of them. Something I was going to say as well that sort of sprung to mind when I was driving this one is if I was buying a TT, either a Coupe or Convertible, something that I would be bothered about would be how does the Convertible drive, like as far as stability is concerned, compared to the Coupe. And honestly, I think because the wheelbases are so short on these cars, they're so tiny, there's not really much distance between the front wheels and the back wheels, there doesn't feel like there's much travel or give or lack of stability in the convertible car at all. I didn't feel it whatsoever, if I'm honest. So I think that's something worth knowing. If you are about to, or considering buying a convertible, don't let that put you off, because this feels unbelievably stable for a convertible car. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to end it there. So for those that are new to my channel, I do this sort of thing quite a lot. We're based I work, it's my own company, Bing Car, which is in Milton Keynes. So if you want to buy or sell a car, that's what we do for a living, buy and sell cars. We've got there's sort of two sides of the business. Quickly summarise what we're about as well. Two sides of the business. There's a trade side and a retail side. The trade stuff is all of the cheaper cars. They're sold as they are with no warranty and stuff like that, and the prices drop on them. We run as a Dutch auction. The prices drop every hour on all of the trade auction cars. Yeah, the other side is Binker Retail, where we offer finance, warranties and that type of thing, and they're prepped and done to a higher standard, and obviously you pay a premium for them cars. So we've got real divider cars up to sort of £5,000. We've always got over 50 cars, so we've got a hell of a lot of cars, 150 in total. So if you live in Milton Keynes, you're looking for a new car, give us a go. Yeah, I'm going to end it there. Hope you liked the video. Obviously, if you did like the video. If you like this concept, you want to see more of this, hit like. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe. And before you go, I want to remind you that you can see the leaderboard, see where these two cars fall on the CCD leaderboard on my Instagram. I'm going to post that on my Insta story tomorrow, or I'm going to do it now, right now. When this video goes live, I'm going to get the leaderboard up immediately in my story. So go and check that out and you'll see where these two cars fell on my own Dragy Times leaderboard, alright? And yeah, I'm going to end it there. See you later. Thank you and goodbye. In the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader, I buy an old Mini Cooper S and I go out for a little drive in it. Another thing, I've got a slow driver, then I've got an old person on them electric scooters. Why do I get slow drivers literally everywhere I go? I'm not like, this is a genuine frustration of mine.